Today's video is a little technical one, and I must make it very clear I'm no electrician, but this is about a SmartShunt, and there'll be quite a few of you who will know exactly what that is, but for those that don't, a SmartShunt is a device that goes between the negative feeds, if you like, from all of the appliances and bits and pieces that go to your batteries or battery, depending on how or which ones you want to monitor, and through the shunt then into the battery negative terminal. And basically it's a device to monitor, I think it's the current that goes through the battery, or comes from the battery, or whichever. It's a device to measure the current usage, the power usage that you're making. I'm not explaining it very well, but then I'm not an electrician. And what I've discovered is that using my electrical stuff on the boat when I'm moored or anchored over a period of time, maybe a day or a couple of days, and I've got a number of things, as I explained in my last video, things like the fridge I want to run, my laptop, there's a Wi-Fi router, or 4G router, which supplies Wi-Fi on the boat, amongst other things, charging up my little smart speaker. It's not a huge power requirement, but it's enough to deplete the battery quite significantly over a day or two. And I've got solar panels to help put power back in, but I need something to get a real understanding of just how much the battery, the house battery in my case, which is what I want to monitor, gets depleted over a period of time, because I am aware that lead acid batteries, which is what we're using here, the voltage drops quite gradually as you're running your devices on board the boat, and then after a period of time it just drops like a stone, like going off a cliff, and you've just lost everything, and you could end up damaging the battery itself. So understanding how it depletes and how quickly for the devices you've got going is really useful. So that's what this is for. It's a small device. I bought it on Amazon, and hopefully, it'll be arriving the next day or so, and I will show you what it looks like, and then show you around the kind of project, if you like, on the boat, where it's going to go, and the help that I'm going to need to set it up. So here it is. This is the SmartShunt, and it's actually smaller than I thought it would be, and I've got to somehow attach this quite close to the battery. That goes to the battery via a nice thick heavy duty cable, and this one goes to all of the other negatives from the boat via a bus bar, which will obviously then provide a nice tidy way of getting all of those extraneous cables in place, which I will be showing you. So there we are. That's what I'm going to fit. And here's my battery bank in a bit more context. The engine's down here. You can see the exhaust system, back of the exhaust there, and here's the batteries underneath the bunk in the aft locker here. And my house battery is actually the one back there, and this is the kind of engine battery, although they're kind of interchangeable really. They're both the same leisure plus batteries, or leisure type of batteries, which are designed to be kind of able to turn over the engine, as well as being able to kind of drain a bit more than a starter only battery can. Anyway, you can see the kind of plus and minus leads, etc., and I've got to kind of somehow work out how to bring the negative leads through to what I think is going to be this spot down here underneath, and I'm going to probably put it in here, and then I've also got, which I'll show you, a little bus bar. Where is that? Here we go. Yeah, little bus bar, which I bought just to do the job of collecting the kind of other ancillary negative stuff. I'm going to be running, obviously, the engine one and all the kind of high power negatives straight to the shunt as well. It won't go through this, so this will only manage the much smaller negative leads, because otherwise it wouldn't be up to the job. So what I'm probably going to do is mount those two items onto a piece of ply, which I think is what Giles did. Probably give it a coat or two of varnish, something to protect it, or epoxy, and then screw it to the back of the battery box where you saw me placing the shunt, and then I'll work out how to get the leads through. Well, I've worked out, and I can see the routes that I can take, so it's then the process of doing that. So I will keep you posted on that one. The next step in my quest to make to install this shunt is to make a little plywood bracket for it. My workmate, I'm cribbing directly from my friend Giles's, and I'll show you the picture here that I shot from his boat. So I'm going to just do what he's done, really. Ready to go onto the boat. So Sean, my electrician, has put the SmartShunt in. Something I really wasn't keen to do. It all seemed a bit complicated for me. He's put this new negative cable in, and he's run the leads through this hole here. So we've got both batteries set up for this now, and I'll show you where it is. It's been hidden, so anyone who's got a Moody 31, this might be useful. It's down here. It's still being set. There's a piece of wood there holding it. It's been bonded to the back of the battery box there. It's quite complicated. Well, some people may think it's not complicated, but you've got these little red leads as well that run to the actual batteries. Up here, they come through, attached to the actual batteries, the engine battery and the house battery, and that then allows the SmartShunt to operate and do its stuff, and I'll show you a few screens from it in a minute. Once you've logged in to the app and connected Bluetooth of the shunt, this is what you get. You can see at a glance obviously the current state of charge, the voltage of the battery, how much current is being used at the moment, and on this screen you can see just my little router running at 0.14 of an amp, I think is all that was kind of being used by the battery, and how much power. And obviously this is very newly set up, so the figures aren't terribly meaningful, and it's also connected to the battery charger in the boatyard via the mains power supply, so it doesn't mean a great deal looking at this particularly. And you've also got at the bottom the starter battery voltage as well, which is just a useful thing to see. But we're not really, I don't think this app is about monitoring the starter battery. It just tells you how much voltage it's got. This is really about the house battery, and that's what we're seeing here. On this second screen you've got a bit more information about the history of what's gone on. deepest discharge, total charge cycles, all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm going to get into this as I use the thing, of course. There's a settings page, setting up the battery itself, the charge battery capacity, the charged voltage that you want to set it at, the discharge floor, which apparently is typically 50%, and that's kind of this critical thing. You don't really want to go below that, and that's what I want to be able to kind of monitor. And if we go back to the front page again, you can see the time remaining feature there. Tells you if you carry on consuming the power at the rate you're consuming it at, that timing rate remaining will tell you how long you've got left, which is just really, really useful. There are various other settings here which I don't particularly understand, and I'm not going to go into really. I think they're fairly well preset. Things like the Pukert exponent, which is going to be related to the type of battery up to a point. I think that is correctly set for this. And then if we move on, we've got trends, so you can see over a period of time what's happening with your battery setup and how it's discharging over time. That's what this is all about. This is what having the SmartShunt is all about. It's just being able to monitor the state of the charge of the battery, how fast things are discharging or charging up. Of course, if you've got solar panels running, you'll be bringing charge back in hopefully faster than you're using them up, but it's just a really powerful little tool. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's a simple one, hopefully. Started in August, we've just literally hit March today, and I'm really looking forward to using this and getting a much better understanding and being able to use the batteries with more confidence while I'm on the mooring, keeping them charged up with the solar panels and using whatever I need to. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and do press like and even subscribe if you're inclined to. That would be great, and no doubt see you in another video soon.